it's a bad loan. It's a bad investment. It's only, she said it 100 times, it's only $18,000. I said to her, I'll loan you the money if the EDA guarantees it. You know, it's that kind of a logic that gets into it. It's a...
But isn't that a but-for test?
Well, that's the question we're wrestling with. I mean, we don't, just because it's but-for doesn't mean we have to do it.
No, it doesn't mean we have to, but for, and that's why we came here. And plus, part of the condition of forbearance is we directed them.
We did not direct them to
do something
the
about
bank and that we would guarantee the loan.
Did we direct them to do something about credit card debt or not?
Here's the first that I've seen this, but here's the language. Pay down high interest debt, reduce balances as soon as possible. Lower balances, lessen monthly payments. Now, that milestone...
Doesn't this do that?
Well, but, yes.
Yes, it does.
But there's nothing in that language that says we're going to meet your milestone for you. There is certainly the argument that...
But this is where the path took us, correct? It took them anyway.
You know,
it's an option for them.
Yes.
It's an option. But, you know, it is credit card. It's different. It's different debt.
Yes, it is.
If this is not a but-for, in my opinion, because they can still cash flow without it. What it does is it makes it easier for them to make their payments. Their argument is if it's easier for us to make those payments, if we lower it, it's easier for us to come out of forbearance. Whether that's true or not, it's hard to tell. Then we're talking about having to monitor the activity of those credit cards and others. It starts to put a strain on, on us to have to keep an eye on that going forward. So it's not quite as straightforward.
I don't know what equipment that they had to go buy,
Prep station?
but if that piece of equipment was to fail, well then that means they can't open the next day.
Right.
So they were in a corner. They had to go get it. I'm assuming they had to go purchase this equipment in order to be open tomorrow. So that, to me, that's all business expense.
Well, that's business, but do we have to bail them out for that? We went through a business plan. There was contingency. We loaned them $90,000.
Right.
The bank loaned them $100 and something. We're behind the bank in the mortgage on the building. The cash flow was my husband has got the coating business. We got the apartments upstairs. We'll make it through the winter. The argument that Highway 43 project ruined them, I think, is specious at best. They had a lot of traffic going by there that wouldn't have been there if the highway had been open.
Well, that hasn't ruined anybody, but it's hurt a lot.
Yeah, but
it didn't help.
Right, but it
Can you
wasn't
put
like the
a
creamery
number on that? No.
or the grocery store where you couldn't actually get to it. You could get to Jesse Street. In fact, it was a steady stream.
You could always get to the grocery store.
So at any rate, this is really the loan guarantee. This is not a loan. We're not being asked to loan money. We're being asked with no relationship with the borrower and no relationship with the bank.
We have a relationship with the borrower.
But not for this.
How long does that?
But we loaned them money.
Right, but not for this.
But we have a relationship with them.
But not a contractual relationship under this guarantee.
For this $18,000.
And we don't have a contractual relationship with the bank.
I'm just very sorry, but I just don't know what you're trying to say when you say that.
I'm saying we sign a note, we sign a note.
Can you appreciate what I'm trying to say here? You keep
No,
on saying we don't have a relationship with them. We don't
I'm
have
talking
a
about a
relationship with the bank.
I'm talking about a contractual relationship where you sign a note, you put up collateral, and you pay us back.
There's nothing in this saying we have no control of them making payments on this $18,000 because it's with the bank.
And if they fail and they don't pay the bank back,
we can't go to them and say, well, you need to make your payments because we're not in that mix. the bank can come to us and say,
Say, you know, my 18,000.
you want,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
come, give
Yeah.
us that right now, but we have nothing, Jesse Street has nothing with us saying, we can't go to them and say, you better make your payments,
One of the.
because there is no agreement there.
I understand where both of you guys are coming from, but one thing that screams out loud to me is, okay, let's guarantee it. They get their 18,000 to pay the credit cards off. What's to say that same prep table doesn't go down tomorrow, and we're in the same boat a month from now?
And one of the only differences, had we known and that had there been time, that would've been a perfect project for some deed
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
reimbursement, you know, that was really unfortunate that they didn't reach out and say, but according to her, she was, what, 2 weeks away or something, and, needed that equipment, so that's the decision they made.
And it's
Well,
hard
I
because
think
it's a
if
lot of
if
cards.
there would have been somebody would have reached out at that point, you know, maybe that's one where we did do something where we
Yep.
guaranteed something with the
Yeah,
bank.
we're trying to,
On a short-term
we're trying to go back
basis.
in time.
right.
And I understand we can't change that, but
Right.
that's,
It's certainly not for, you know, please understand, I mean, this, I'll try to express this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Janelle, but I think the subcommittee is very sympathetic and would like to be in a position to help this company succeed. I think we've done a tremendous amount. We granted forbearance after 1 year. We loaned money in the first place. We went through countless hours of subcommittee. This is credit card debt. It's not like, you know, $500,000 in medical school bills that you can't pay because your hand got cut off. This is credit card debt. You know, I won't read you any of the stuff here, but, and it's a loan guarantee. It's, the question, again, I'll use the term relationship. We don't have a contract with the bank. We don't have a contract with the borrower. We simply guarantee this loan. SBA won't do it. They'll only
That's
do
not-
50%.
Not that SBA won't do it, just that the bank for some reason won't go to SBA.
No. You said the other day, SBA only does 50%.
That was a number that we heard from the loan officer, but what his point was is that they don't wanna do it because, or they don't wanna go ahead with an SBA loan because they've done it in the past. And
Well, you know, this is a community bank. They also owe money to the bank. They owe a lot of money to the bank. This is what we get into, and this is a little raw. Why are you asking us to guarantee your loan? If this is a bad loan, if you don't wanna go to SBA, how bad do you want that coffee shop?
Can we guarantee something with conditions?
Yes.
What sort of condition?
you could,
You're gonna pay us interest, or you're gonna throw a party, or?
you could request an additional personal guarantee for the 18,000, but that comes down to whether, you know, if they're.
They won't put their house up. The reason they can't get the loan from the bank, and I'll speak to the cameras, they won't securitize it. There's no collateral. We're the collateral. They have a house, they have options, they sold off the coating business. This, to me, is the epitome of moral hazard. We're rewarding somebody for a business blip. Go back to their business plan, their cash flow, their profit and loss statements. They can recover from this. We don't have, it makes it easier, to be sure,
Yeah,
if we bail them out.
that's really what it is.
And shortcuts,
But we've got.
But secondly, we could also, according to our attorney, we could put it on their mortgage that they have with us. Now, again, we're in a second position, so, you know, so the personal guarantee is worth whatever you think it's worth, and putting it on a mortgage that's in a second position, that's worth whatever you think it's worth, but you can put conditions
and
on it.
our attorney
On a loan
works for the
guarantee.
bank. I mean, the meeting, we sat through a 3-hour meeting at the bank where he was a bulldog. And he was representing the bank, and I mean, he was just, I thought, rather disrespectful.
I didn't think so.